and just get us started. Talk about where your team's at right now, especially coming off a great win last week.
As a head coach, you see you're always trying to oversee and analyze and just taking stock what's collectively where we're at. This whole season, the body of work thus far has been a team that is young, talented, full of great potential, and as they've begin to build this brand new unit, this brand new core nucleus, they've done a very good job of going to work every single week. You see the real fruit of it coming out this last weekend. I thought, as a whole team win, we did extremely well. I love the fact that we were played a lot of our roster, but there was an enthusiasm about it. The guys had fun, great buy-in to play for each other, and I think you walk away from it going, man, that's just a really good victory for the program and in the future where we're going.
And then how happy were you? Did you see that complete offensive, defensive, and special teams? Really, all three units really contributed.
Yeah, that's what you want to see, And at the end of the day, when I turn the film on, you got to evaluate every single position and every single position group, and then offense, defense, special teams. And as I watch the totality of the game, like, man, you see them doing a lot of good and playing extremely fast. Owning their responsibilities, owning their assignments, and that's something. And you look like, man, outstanding, great growth where we're at, and I'm excited to get to work this week.
Talk about Alfers and the last couple of years you had high praise for him as a number 2 guy or a guy who can come in and under certain packages and how big was it for him to be able to start and have a game like that?
Well, you feel great for him. And, what we've always known about Andrew is that he's a guy you can count on. And he's shown that any responsibility we've given him, any task we've given him, he's been able to step in and be a guy you can count on. So when you have that kind of quality of depth and quarterback here at our school, you're really excited about that. And so, knowing who Andrew is as a person, you feel great for the young man to be able to have that type of victory, that type of performance, and to be able to lead the offense into what they did. I'm really proud of him.
But it's got to be good for you as coaches, knowing that you have a guy like that who can step in and you don't really have to change the game plan.
Right. And in our whole recruiting process, you're with all of our positions, you're trying to make sure you're as deep as possible, and that when the next man does step up, you're not dropping off and, okay, I've got to change the whole scheme for this person. In our whole recruiting process and the evaluations, we try to take into account, okay, what can this person do within our scheme, but also what adaptability they have, what type of personality they have, what type of grit have they shown. And, Andrew really checked all the boxes off when we recruited him. And so we knew he came in as a guy who could be a starter for us, and he when the time came for him was last weekend, he took the opportunity, ran with it, and he did what a great quarterback should do for his program. When the opportunity comes, help lead us to a lot of points, and then he did that all week long, just being that positive guy. He's great to have on our team. He's great to be around. He's a winner, and he's someone who's going to do a lot in life.
Now talk about this week's opponent.
Yeah. Well, South Dakota Mines is playing some great football. I think they're one of the better teams in our league. It's going to be homecoming, and our homecoming is always just a great celebration here about who the school is. South Dakota Mines is a very formidable opponent. Their quarterback Trent McKinney is doing an outstanding job. He's one of the best in our league. He throws a quick game extremely well. He's got his offense running on a high engines. I mean, the precision of what they run their offense is very admirable, and you watch it and you watch it on film, and like, man, they're doing things extremely well. They know their systems well. Throughout every single week, they give a different game plan, different formation stuff, so that you're seeing an adaptability of their offensive personnel, and obviously their coaching staff is putting a lot of thought into the game plan. So you're seeing a group that is playing one of the best seasons of South Dakota Mines football. And, defensively, I think they're matching that enthusiasm with a lot of high-pressure defense. A scheme we're very familiar with, but also, you look at they're playing very hard. And they're creating their own momentum on defense. And then special teams-wise, they're very aggressive. And, you've seen a group of guys play good football together. So we understand, this week we're excited to play the game. It's a very, the fans are going to see a good matchup between a couple good teams that are playing football out there. And so, like I said, it's exciting to go back to work. I'm excited once again. I always say high praise for this league, and that every week brings a challenge and an entertainment value that is the fans are going to see a lot of great football, but as a staff, we know we got a lot of work to do, and that's what you want to be. You want to play in a football that matters, and this is that league provides that.
Is this a tough week for you as coaches? I mean, when you lose, you talk about putting that behind you, but then when you play your best, at least your best game of the year, I'm saying you got to put that behind you too.
Yeah, you never try to don't live in the high and don't live in the low. Treat those two imposters the same. And so you just stay steady, you go about your business. We value the process quite a bit here. And we go back to Monday is about really just evaluating yourself. We're going to watch the film with the players. Excuse me, we're going to make sure that we're going to, prepare well for this team coming up. So every week's a hard week, Steve, and college football, you watch all the highlights from the whole weekend. Every game is got its ups and downs, and you got to pour everything you got to in preparation for your opponent coming up. That's why I love the fact that the saying every week is a season. And if you think your last game is going to determine the next game, you're wrong. Every week's a season. Have the humility about yourself to be hungry and humble, and put the work in necessary to go win this next game.
Looking at the broad picture of your program, talk about the importance of homecoming week and what it's like to bring guys back who have played under you, and then the guys who are currently in the roster, just to get to interact with them a little bit and see the maturation of, this is what it's like to be a post-college football player.
I'm really sitting in a pretty unique seat now, being the head coach of this program for 10 years. The homecoming really has a special place for my heart now, because you're seeing young men who have graduated, who have played for you, who now have families and now are in the workforce doing outstanding things. So having them come back, see our current players and our players just seeing the real value of what we teach day in and day out about building champions while pursuing championships. And so our alums will come in and tell them, hey, everything coach is telling you, it's paying off in the real world. Not only does it pay off in the short term in the process of winning a football game, but they're saying all these anecdotal stories about, hey, the coach has told you this is how it plays out in the real world. And sharing those stories, our current guys, they really cast some vision about, hey, football is going to end for everybody, and the real game of life is you got to be ready to go. And if you're not using football to help prepare you mentally, to have that grit, to have that mental model, what it is to be an adapter, what it is to be persevering, what it is to be creative, what it is to be a teammate, if you're not learning that while you're playing college football, then you're really wasting a big opportunity, and you're just having an experience, and real life's going to hit you in the face pretty hard. So homecoming is a celebration. That's a unique thing about this school, is that our homecoming here is a huge party, and our community comes back, and that's fun to be a part of.
Very good. Thank you, Coach.
Hey, thank you very much.